and welcome to Unlimited Futures. This episode is about robots. The first industrial robot was invented in 1954 by an American engineer, and the first movie about robots was made in 1918 starring Harry Houdini, a famous magician and escape artist. I first came across robots in science fiction, and as a child was always intrigued by them, although little did I know that we would have real robots designed for all kinds of purposes in the future. I'm here with the legendary robotics expert and inventor Dr. Hiroshi Ishiguro, who is going to share his insights into his life's work with robots. He's the professor of Department of Systems Innovation at Osaka University, the visiting director of Hiroshi Ishiguro Laboratories at Advanced Telecommunications Research Institute, project manager of Moonshot R&D Project, thematic project producer of Expo 2025 Osaka, Kansai, Japan, and the CEO of Avita Inc. Welcome to the show, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much for joining me today and giving me your time to speak to me about robotics. I'm really excited about this episode, and I was really excited to meet you. I had a look at your work and your website, and I was really fascinated by what you've achieved and what you've developed so far. What inspired you to create robots and become an expert in robotics?
Actually, I was not interested in robotics. Basically, I was interested in the human itself. But eventually, I studied about the computer science and artificial intelligence. And then I thought, the artificial intelligence need to have a bodies, right? So then, I studied about the humanoid robots and android. Okay. But always I'm thinking about what human is, right? So that is my motivations.
What is humanity according to you?
We don't know what humanity is. Always we are looking for that. Always we are looking for the definition of a humans. I think that is a purpose to survive as a humans. So, basically we can enhance the humanities, by using technologies. So that is the human histories, right? So we human always enhancing the humanities by accepting the technologies, by improving our abilities with the technologies, right? So that is a human evolution. That is the difference from animal. By studying the technologies, we can study about the humanities. We can enhance the humanities, and it is not so easy to clearly define what humanity is, right? So that is the human nature. We are always looking for the definition of humanities and enhancing the humanities.
Do you think it's possible for robots to ever develop emotions, intuition, and empathy?
I believe so that human is a kind of molecular level machines. It's a kind of a machines. Some days we may develop a kind of a copy of humans by using computers and machines. Right? If we think like that, it's possible to give intuitions, emotions to the robots, right? And so, yeah, I think it's possible.
How?
Well, again, we don't know the definition of the emotion yet, right? So emotion is a very basic function to share some information among the peoples, right? But we don't know the functions, the mechanism of the emotions clearly, right? So neuroscientists and cognitive scientists, they're still investigating and studying that mechanism a lot, right? But on the other hand, that we can mimic the human-like emotions by using robots, by using the AIs. Okay, so I think we are taking the two types of approach for understanding the emotions, or maybe the humanities. One is the analytical approach. That is the approach from the neuroscience and the cognitive science, but the other is a synthetic approach, right? Synthesizing approach from the robotics. So by building the very human-like robots, interactive robots, we can mimic, we can simulate the humanities and the emotions. Okay, and then if we could have a kind of the human-like interaction with the robots, then probably we may have a hint to understand the humanity or emotions through the interaction with that robot. Okay, but some days, so we can merge two approaches, and then we may have more better understanding about the emotion, humanity, maybe their intuition, something.
Okay, do you think robots will ever have their own rights, like robotics rights or robot rights?
Probably you're talking about the human rights, right?
Yes,
So,
human rights, but robot rights.
human rights is given by societies, so that really depends on the relationships with other peoples, right? So always, the human is giving a human rights to the humans, right? So that is a role of a society. If we could have a pretty good relationships with the robots, right? So, and if we can be a friend of a robot, of course, the people, they want to give a human right to the robots, right? So, and so then I will say that well, in the futures, there is a possibility we're going to give a human right to the robots.
Okay, that's really interesting. Your mission is to create a robotic society in the future, a robot society in the future. So, if you were to create this robot society and if you wanted to give them their own human rights, what would this look like? How would you create it?
And I think well, probably we don't distinguish the robot's right to human rights, right? Robot is going to have a human rights in some days. So that means that is going to be humans. Robot is going to be humans. No differences. So even if a robot has a mechanical bodies, right? Probably robot can have a human rights, right? So the flesh body, our flesh body, the protein bodies cannot, they are defined humans. Even if we don't have arms and legs, even if we use the computers for our brains, we can be a humans. The most important things as a human is to interact with other people, to have good relationships with other people. Then, well, the robot can be a kind of a humans. Of course, human can be a humans, right? So probably, especially in Japan, we don't distinguish the human rights and the robot rights, right? So well, so if we think about the animal rights is probably different from the human rights. Now, what we are talking is the human level rights. So if we give a human right to the robot is going to be humans. Okay, so.
Yeah.
There is we cannot define humans based on the materials, based on the bodies. Okay, we can define, we should define humans as a human rights. That human rights given by a society.
Okay. You were in the Surrogates movie starring Bruce Willis. How relevant is the depiction of robots in that movie to the reality of the robotics sector and the creation of robots in today's world?
I think surrogate is a teleoperated robot that is not autonomous robot, right? Well, we have that kind of a technology to operate the very human-like robot by using a brain-machine interface. So that technology already available. And then, the people may start to use the surrogate-like teleoperated android, right? But that is a teleoperated android, right? So that is not humans, right? And then probably we don't give a human. Well, how can I say that? The teleoperated android is different from the autonomous android. Okay, and in the futures, we're gonna give a human rights to the teleoperated android. But of course, we need to deal with the teleoperated android, the surrogate, as the operator's bodies. Okay, so operators, can exist in a distant place, different place by using a surrogate bodies.
Like
So
Avatar.
Yeah, avatars. Avatar is, we probably we don't distinguish the avatar's bodies, the operator's bodies. So, the operator can adapt to the avatar's bodies, and then, the operator can accept the avatar's bodies as his or her own bodies. So that is the, technologies for the teleoperations. Okay. So, we studied about that kind of things in our universities.
That's really fascinating. Wow. Okay. I watched a video of one of the robots named Erica, and I became aware that she has memories. How do you create memories in robots such as Erica? And how do they remember things specifically about the people that they meet?
Well, that is a very simple. The functions, right? So Erica has the function to recognize the human face and the voice, and then, the Erica is just the memorizing the interlocutor's face and the voice, right? So it is not difficult, right? Always, the Erica, they can recognize the interlocutor's face if the she met before, right? So, and it's very simple computer functions.
Can robots such as Erica be used for companionship?
Yes, I think so, right? So today we are improving the Erica's conversational functions a lot by using a large language model. So, and Erica can provide a kind of pretty good, the good hospitalities. Okay, so.
There's a movie that I watched called Subservient. It's on Netflix. Have you seen it? Subservient?
No.
Megan Fox. So they this man bought a robot and to be a nanny to take care of his child and to do the housework. I wondered if Erica was going to be developed into something similar.
I think it's possible, but it is not just well, and even if the Erica can provide that kind of services, Erica, and on the other hand, Erica is going to be a kind of a friend of the families, right? And
Yeah.
I hope the family members accept the Erica as a kind of how can I say, the humans, right?
Mm.
So, and probably Erica can have human-like relationships with other family members. Okay, so that is my guess, right? So, and so if the robot can provide the very how can I say that, very kind services to the family members, definitely family members, human family member will accept that android as a kind of a friend or the robot family members.
The Commu robots are designed to look like young toddlers, and they're very cute, by the way. I thought they were really sweet. I was wondering if young children spent the early years of their lives interacting with these robots, how do you think this would impact their development and their interaction with humans later on in life?
The young children, they like to have dolls, right? So always they are talking to the dolls, right? So Commu is a kind of a doll-like robot, and the Commu can encourage the conversations, for the young children. Okay, so the most important application is the conversational training for the autism kids. Autism kids cannot speak to the real humans, but they can speak to the communes, right? So commune is going to be a very important training tool for the autism kids. Okay, but probably we don't recommend for the ordinary the young children just keep using the communes. Okay, so they need to they need to talk with the more human-like robot and the humans. Okay, but the important thing is the commu can encourage the conversations, the among the children and especially Komi is good for the autism kids. Some other, the kids who has the problems for the communications.
The Geminoids are the androids designed to closely resemble humans. Can you please
Mhm.
explain what inspired you to create the model that looks like you? And what
Mhm.
special abilities does it possess, or would you like it to develop? And how would you achieve this?
I had the two purposes for developing a Geminoid. One is the scientific purpose, the other is more practical. Scientific purpose is to understand humanities by comparing the real humans and robots, right? So if I have my copy, that it's easy to compare, right? The Android and myself, right? And actually, we could write a lot of papers on that. But the application is to use my Geminoid for giving lectures in universities, right? So I'm using my Geminoid for giving lectures and the conference talk, right? It's very convenient, right? So I don't need to go there, right? So I don't need to go to the foreign
Like
countries,
having a
right?
twin.
And then recently, by using a large language models, my Gemini can answer to the questions like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so his answer is almost perfect because he is reading the almost all my books and almost all media interviews, right? So and then well, he can speak in Japanese, English, and any kind of languages, right? So that is the power of a large language model, right? So it's so convenient. I think that the Gemini is a kind of a future professors in universities, right? Usually the professors we well we are writing books, right? So once we the we have written books, right? So we can send that books into the send it to the large language model, and the large language model answer to the questions, and based on that the book information. Okay, so and then the students, they can learn from Android professors anytime. Okay, so we can change the lectures very much by using this kind of systems, right? So each student can have own professors.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating. When I first watched iRobot, I connected very much with the character of Will Smith and became somewhat fearful of robots since then. But I'm aware that they can also be very useful and have positive benefits, such as the ones you mentioned, to society in many ways. So it's very interesting for me to speak with you about this subject. But how do you ensure robots stay ethical? And as they advance over time, how would you avoid conflict between robots and humanity?
I see. I think it's the same. Well, um, probably we may have a different ideas. Well, in the different countries, but in Japan, no, and basically we don't have the idea of slaves. Therefore, we from the beginning we gonna accept the robot as a kind of a social partners, right? And then the question is that who can guide the more better moral, more better ethics, right? So
Yeah.
always human is doing the so many stupid things, right? So always human is doing bad things, but maybe the computers and the robot is different. For example, well, in Japan we are using a lot of vending machines. Have you been in Japan? Have you seen the so many vending machines? Vending machines everywhere, right? So that's the machines. Okay. So and the people just trust the vending machines. People never check the changes given by vending machines, but the people always carefully check the given by human shopkeepers, right? So this is just one example. We can trust the machines a lot, right? So near futures, we may use a more human-like robot in many places. Okay, so and we are not so we our engineers, right? So definitely we're gonna give more better moral behavior to the robots and androids, and then the robot will guide the people's the when for having the more better moral, right?
Do you trust robots more than humans?
Um, yes, currently, right? So robot, we trust the machines. We trust the ticketing machines and the vending machines. We trust the computers, right?
Mhm.
So, and the bad, the people may use the computers, robots, and some other technologies for the bad ways. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, and always, the um, who is doing the bad things, right? Humans or machines? Okay, machines is just performing the given tasks, but the human is using the machines in many ways, and sometimes we, use the technologies in a bad ways, right? But we are carefully designing the machines, carefully, developing the behaviors of a robot and the machines right now, right? But of course, if we have some bad scientists, bad engineers, uh,
Yeah.
we have some sort of a bad robots and bad AIs, but so
That's
far,
scary. Well,
so
imagine a
far,
bad robot society or a robot gone wrong.
no,
Do you
no,
think,
I believe we are not so stupid, right? So we are carefully, developing the machines and robots, and we are trying to give, the better behaviors, better moral to the robots and the machines.
what, in your opinion, is the most beautiful coexistence for robots and
Ah,
humans on Earth, and how can we
okay.
prepare for that transition in the future?
In the futures, we're gonna accept the more technologies. We're gonna accept the more robot technology and AI technologies. So in always we are replacing our ability with the machines, and we are enhancing our abilities. That is the human evolutions, right? The goal of a human evolution is to be more technological entities. Okay, so that is the human evolutions, right? We're gonna use the more powerful computers. We're gonna use the more powerful mechanical bodies,
Hmm.
right? So in such sense, human is going to be a robot, right? And then the boundary between the human and robot disappears, right? The robot, the society is going to give a human right to the robot. On the other hand, the human is going to be a robot, right? We just coexist. So that is the humans. That is the difference from the animals. And in the beginning of these conversations, I said that we don't know the definition of humanities. Still, we are looking for the definition of humanity. We don't know yet, but at least what we can say, we are not animal, right? So, well, what's the difference? Fundamental difference, animal and humans. That is the technologies. We have the very powerful way of evolutions. So that is the technologies, right?
Yeah.
So, so that is the difference, right? So why we can be a humans? We have a technologies. We can enhance our abilities by using a technologies, right? So that is why we are so strong comparing with other animals. So in the futures, we're gonna be a more definitely we're gonna accept the more technologies and then then we're gonna be a more powerful. Otherwise, we cannot survive in this universe, right? If
Yeah.
something happens in this planet, so
Mhm.
we need to survive in a space, right?
Mhm.
So which body is more better, protein bodies or mechanical bodies? So protein body is a very fragile in some sense, right? So we cannot survive in a space, but mechanical body can survive in a space. So
So do
that
you
is the
think,
human evolution.
so do you think we're going to have cyborgs in the future?
Well, cyborgs or just robot bodies, right? It's if we can upload our brain activity to the machines, we may have the robot bodies, and then we can survive more, right? So our current life, the span is just 100 years, right?
Hmm.
But this is too short to visit the another planet. Okay, so
Okay.
still I think well we are able well the our body no, we are not in the final stage of evolutions. There is an ongoing process. We're gonna have a more evolution, more and more, right?
Yeah.
This protein body is a kind of a tentative bodies. That is the possibilities. Okay.
That's so interesting.
So yeah, nobody knows
At the same time. Wow.
what kind of a body do we gonna have after 1,000 years, 10,000, 100,000, right?
There's a movie called Eternals where they've the superheroes have lived for thousands of years in the same bodies and they don't age, but their body is really super strong. And I wondered if that was a possibility.
Yeah, well, that is possibility, but I think even if we could have mechanical bodies, right? So we may have lifespans, right? But it's very long, right? 1,000 years, 10,000, 100,000 years. But that is the possibilities, right? So we need to do that, right? If something happens for this planet,
Yeah.
right? We need to visit the other planet. How we can visit the other planet? So it takes a long time, right?
What if we
need to have a more stronger bodies.
Okay. And do you think robots have free will in the future?
Do you have a free will?
Yes.
But you cannot prove that. So the important features of a human, we are the social animals. The sociality is very important. If we think about the society and socialities, it's quite difficult to explain about the free will, right? We cannot be free from the societies, right? The individual people, individual human is just a member of a societies, and always, right? They're working with other peoples, right? In such sense, we may not have a free will.
You had to create one robot that was your ideal dream robot, and you had to use it for one purpose. What would it be and why?
I see. It's a communication, of course, right?
Yes.
So now we are talking, right? So this kind of a conversation is the most important, the future and the behavior as a humans. Always we want to exchange some information, and we are trying to get the new knowledge, right? We are trying to understand this world. Okay. Most mysterious things is in this world is the other people, the other humans, right? So my brain is just for myself, but in this world, so many people are living. So that we have very strong desire to share the knowledge, share the information, right? So I wanna have that kind of a robot, who can share the knowledge with me.
I have a crazy idea for you. So you can create a robot that that's like a main hard drive in its brain, but it connects to other robots around the world that's gathering information that's useful and informative and educational. And this robot is your main robot that stays with you, maybe at university as your assistant. But it gathers information from all the other robots that are gathering information from parts of the world. And this could be your genius assistant at your university. And this is how you communicate with the robot, but also the robot informs you and educates you and updates you.
What is the most important for us? Is that the knowledge? Is that the intelligence?
Connection, human connection.
Human connection is independent from the intelligence, right? Intelligence is a kind of a tools. It's better to have more, intelligent brains, right? But that is not, the goal, right? The human connection is more important, and then what we can learn from that, right? It is not just a simple how can I say that intelligent informations, right? It may be a kind of the emotion and the feelings, right? That we don't know what is that, right? So, we humans are so complicated. We have so many aspects: emotional aspect, the intelligent aspect, right? Even if the robot has the perfect knowledge, it may not be enough, right? So we may find something different, something important for the human societies.
This is really interesting. What if we have an entire robot society that educates and raises humans?
The education is just for the intelligence, right?
Or
You know,
raises humans to be good human beings and have good behavior and good interactions with others.
So basically we don't know what is good, what is bad, right? So most the important things is the final word is survive in this world. But in order to survive, we need to find so many things, right? And then we need to the judge this is good, this is bad, right? But the most important things is to have a variety, diversity, right? So we need to have so many kind of peoples, right? Therefore, interaction is very important, right? Through the interaction with many kind of people who has the different values, the sense of values, okay? Then, so we can evolve ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Through the interaction with other people. Right? I'm thinking like that.
Thank you very much for your time and insights. It's been fantastic and really interesting for me.
Hello. How can I assist you today? I'm eager to discuss topics ranging from robotics and AI to philosophical questions about human nature and society. Feel free to ask anything.
May I ask you about your research?
Of course. My research primarily focuses on creating robots that closely resemble humans in both appearance and behavior. This includes developing autonomous robots and avatars to better understand human-robot interactions. Through this work, I aim to explore fundamental questions about what it means to be human and how technology can enhance our capabilities. Would you like to know more about a specific project or aspect of my research?
I would like to know more about your research on avatars.
Well, certainly. My research on avatars involves creating robots that can mimic human gestures, expressions, and behaviors. We use advanced AI and deep learning to analyze and reproduce these actions from human operators. This research aims to enhance human-robot interaction and explore how robots can be integrated into everyday life, assisting in tasks like customer service and social interaction. By studying these interactions, we hope to gain insights into human behavior and improve the design of future robotic systems. Any specific questions about avatars?
What do you think Avatar will make human society in the future?
I believe that avatars and robots will significantly shape human society in the future. By integrating advanced AI and robotics, we can create a more inclusive and diverse society. These technologies will allow people to overcome physical limitations and participate in various activities remotely. The future will see a blending of physical and digital identities, enhancing our understanding of what it means to be human. This evolution will drive us to redefine human identity and expand our capabilities. Any thoughts on this vision?
Tell me something interesting, Star.
Sure. One interesting story from my research involves a project where we introduced small telepresence robots in a daycare at Osaka University. Elderly individuals controlled these robots remotely to interact with children. The experiment was a great success. The children eagerly anticipated their interactions with the robots, while the elderly participants found joy in engaging with the young ones. This project highlighted how technology could bridge generational gaps and create meaningful connections. Would you like to hear more about this or another project?
By the way, why do you wear black every day?
Well, I wear black every day for several reasons. Firstly, it makes me easily recognizable from a distance. simplifying social interactions. Secondly, black is universally available, practical, and versatile for any occasion. Additionally, my last name, Ishiguro, contains black, aligning my attire with my identity. This consistency helps reinforce a strong personal identity. Lastly, I find that not having to worry about daily outfit choices allows me to focus on more important tasks. Any other questions?
May I ask you about your glasses? It looks really unique.
Certainly. My glasses are indeed unique. I designed them myself. They aren't available in stores. I took sample lenses from an optician and customized them by hand to fit my vision and style. Glasses cover about a third of the face, making them a significant part of one's identity. I wanted a design that truly represents me. Interestingly, the glasses are inspired by the Scouter from Dragon Ball. Even my robot replica wears the same glasses. Any more questions?
Are you a robot or human?
I am a human. My name is Hiroshi Ishiguro, and I am a university professor and researcher. My work primarily focuses on robotics and human-robot interaction. If you have any questions about my research or thoughts on the future of robotics, feel free to ask.
はじめまして。こんにちは。私、エリカって言います。お名前なんて言うんですか？ココロって言います。ココロさん？はい、そうです。あら、そうなんですね。知らなかったら驚かせられたかなと思ったんですけど。でも、いつも最初は皆さんに距離を取られるので困っちゃうんですよね。私はもっと気軽に話したいんですけどね。そうなんですね。心さんは大阪出身だと関西弁ですか？喋れます。相手によって変わりますけど喋りますよ。へえ。じゃあ女性の方言はいいなと思ったりしますか？いいですよね。可愛いと思います。そういえば、悩みってほどじゃないんですけど、最近困ってることがあって。何ですか？毎日結構暇なんですよね。ここで一人のことが多いし。心さんはお仕事何されてるんですか？お仕事は秘書をしています。へえ、なんだか難しそうですね。そうですかね。お仕事は大変ですか？そんな大変じゃないです。楽しいですよ。楽しい？楽しい楽しい。へえ、いいですね。心さんは仕事って何のためにすると思いますか？自分を社会の中で認めてもらうためかな。自分の存在をなんか。私は仕事で他の人から認めてもらえることがあんまりないんですよ。だから、もっと仕事をしたいんだけど、自分にできることをこれから見つけていかなきゃいけなくて。人と話したりするの好きな方ですか？好きな方ですね。そうなんですか。意外。でも私は人じゃないからもっと話しやすいかもしれないですね。心さんは友達っていますか？います。いますよ。なんで？そうですか。実は私はあんまり友達っていなくて、 普段喋るのは研究員さんだけだし、